Hello everyone, Namaste. Is all here? Arul, huh? Or Arvi, huh? Arvi and Vinodi,
Rushali.
huh? Vishali. Okay. Where are you both from? Malaysia.
I'm in Indonesia right now.
Yep.
Otherwise,
I'm in Malaysia.
Otherwise, right now I'm studying clinical research at Boston University. But because of the pandemic, I'm here with my parents at their.
Good, huh? Okay. So, how many are assembled in your area totally?
In Indonesia, I think we have about 30 to 40 abhyasi at the moment. Slowly growing. Youth 2.0 and all of the virtual activities has really helped all of us over here to sort of connect and come closer. So I hope that in the future there will be more growth here as well.
Anything, Anvi?
Hello, Daaji. How are you?
Very good, my dear.
Very
How
nice.
are you all?
We are good.
Good. So, what do you have today?
We just finished with our Youth 2.0 ASEAN just now in the morning. And it was an amazing session. We really enjoyed. We got very good feedback from the ASEAN youth, as well as like a range of people. And yeah, so this is like considered our grand finale. So I think we have a lot of people tuning in, heartfulness practitioners, non-practitioners, everybody. It's amazing.
It's been a tremendous, overwhelming response for all of us here. Yeah. We're extremely excited.
Oh, good. I'm happy. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, we have a lot of questions.
we do have questions. We have prepared them. Various people from all over have sent in their questions. So if you have some time, we can ask them to you.
Please go ahead. So let's begin.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to you, wherever you are. I'm Rushali from Indonesia, and we would like to thank you for joining us for the Youth 2.0 ASEAN Plus Grand Finale. It has genuinely been a wonderful weekend filled with joy and multitude of learning. We would like to take this moment to appreciate all of your support and encouragement in making our event a memorable one. Youth 2.0 ASEAN Plus has been a virtual 2-day introspective immersive webinar spanning 9 countries and 4 time zones. This webinar was designed to refine our inner selves and help us grow as youthful people in today's complex and ever-changing world.
Indeed, Rishali, we hope you all enjoyed our virtual experience, and time has flown by and this event is now coming to a close. As the saying goes, we saved the best for the last. I'm Aruvi, tuning in from Malaysia with all of you today. And it is our joy, honor, and immense pleasure to welcome the person perhaps with the youngest heart, the president of Heartfulness Institute and the global guide of Heartfulness Meditation, Mr. Kamlesh Patel, whom we fondly address as Daaji. Daaji will be sharing some absolutely enlightening insights on spirituality integration and its impact on young minds. And this will also be followed by a peaceful heartfulness meditation session. So let's all be receptive to this session with an open heart and feel free to bring a journal and pen to note down your experience.
All right. So our first question is, what is one thing that is a must-do for the youth in this time and era?
Youth at all time, whether it was 5,000 years back or 5 million years back or 5 years, from tomorrow or 5 million years from tomorrow. One common thing, youth, ability to grasp and learn new things all the time. So if a person says, I know everything, then he'll stop acquiring knowledge. So keep your heart ever thirsty to learn newer and newer things in life and see where it takes us. So thirst for knowledge. And it should be practical. In the morning, we were discussing about knowledge acquired from books. It can inspire us, but we have to actualize it in our real life. See? And when we do actualize such a knowledge, then I think world is in our fingers, in our feast. World can be conquered only by conquering our own hearts, our own tendencies, our own, all what they call. The oldest tradition says that our mind is being driven by 5 horses. It pulls in all directions. These are 5 senses. Our job is to regulate them in mastery, have a mastery over it. See? It is possible. Once we meditate with dedication, means a lot of joy in our practice, then many things are possible. Without this joyful practice, one will be only dreading on the path and say, oh, why am I meditating? What will I get out of this? See? But if you continuously keep on doing it for as long as it takes until you feel really transformative changes permanently within you, then you can say yes. Even in the mundane world, in the physical realm, you need to practice. The field of education, you need to practice. Spirituality demands even more practice, perhaps 24 hours. So youth, my dearest youth, if we think that this is tough, it is very difficult, I tell you. It is not so easy. Easiest thing in life is closing your eyes and thinking of, something very loving in your heart, very transformative, something that you do with a lot of expectation. You see, if someone says meditate on God or presence of divinity, how are you going to do it? You can't. What we do is just assume the presence of God in our heart. We assume that my Lord is in my heart and one day I will experience it with the hope. So our insistence is always like that. See, whenever we approach this meditation, heartfulness way, we proceed with open heart. Open heart in the sense, no conditions that God is like this or God is not like that. So our prayer should always be, my God, I don't know you. I don't know you as far as even presence is concerned. But I like to feel your presence. I'm open to it. I'm ready to, open up my heart and feel your presence. At least this much we can do. It's a very simple prayer. Express your ignorance and wait. Okay. So with this, I'll wait for you another question.
That's amazing, Daaji. Thank you so much.
Yeah?
For that
Thank you.
perspective. So our next question for you is, how do we learn to hope and not expect?
How do you learn to hope and not expect? It's a tricky question. You are tricking me today, Advi. Say, when you get married, are you married or are you going to get married
No,
soon?
I'm not married.
Not
We're still students.
Okay. We'll come to that. I'll share with you something to think about, did not implement. But let us see. Your husband says, I like to have coffee as soon as I wake up.
Mhm.
Right? And If he says, I insist, I expect that you serve me coffee as soon as I get up. So expectation, insistence, they are demands. But a person who says, I hope she will serve me coffee or she will make coffee for me when I get up. See, there is a difference. Hope is very subtle. There is nothing wrong in hoping that one day I will become very, enthusiastic about spirituality through the help of heartfulness. It's a hope. And to insist that Daaji must make me realize God or expect that I must have this God realization within 3 months. With this expectation, there is some level of reciprocation required. Let this pass. Do you hear the sound?
Yeah, yes, we do.
So wait, let's wait. So there is some sort of a comfort level when we reciprocate with expectations. I expect to pass. I'm hopeful about passing. This happens when reciprocation is involved. See, to demand that I must pass through this exam, it's not going to happen unless you have reciprocated. See. So with hope, you will do all that you can. With expectation, there is somebody else's demand, just as you expect there is a demand at a certain level. But hope doesn't demand anything. It is open. It is thrown to destiny. We have to work towards it and fulfilling that hope and actualize that hope through action.
Daaji, I've always wondered when we say hope, right? And we also say we wish. So are these two things, similar, or are they different?
We always use this interchangeably without truly understanding these nuances. You see. Hope is always open. I hope. It is an open approach. It is generally, when Babuji Maharaj used to write, I hope that this letter may find you in a cheerful mood. It's a hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Wish, etc., had some level of insistence from a personal side. When we hope, we are triggering a third force besides ourselves. We are invoking God's help. I hope, may this happen. Insistence is or wish. These are all the grades of the same thing. When it is only becoming worse, from hope to wish to expectation to insistence to demand. This is upscaling your hope to a worse level. For example, now you see the US election, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump must have hoped, I hope I win.
Yeah.
I wish I win and I insist that I win, and I will not concede, even if the other person wins. So these are, scenarios making worse in its own degree.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so over to Vrishali. Next question.
So we'll move on to the next question. This is a really relevant one. How can the youth improve their overall perception beyond just sensory perception?
I mean, our own inner perception versus perception via senses.
Yes, just superficially, everyone takes in the environment that's around us. Like you said earlier, just our five senses. How can we get past that?
Okay. We should not get past it because God has given to us this five sensory organs and five senses. They have to be made use of. Imagine one of your senses is gone, that you cannot hear. What will happen? See? The life will become so miserable. You will not be able to hear the birds and the music. You will not be able to understand what's going on around you. So your world becomes very limited. See? Similarly, So we have to make use of this. When Bible they say, Lord Jesus says, you have eyes but you see not. You have ears but you hear not. So despite of having all these, we often misuse them. See? So it is best to make use of these outer senses and form some kind of a bridge with the inner perception, inner radar. See? Mind can be compared as an instrument that translates all these messages that we get through senses and passes on this information to the heart for further guidance. So you're talking of, capturing this stimulus thoughts from outside world, which can happen just in a fraction of a second. At the same time, when you invoke the inner presence, means you are trying to understand what to do at this time under this situation. That you are invoking the inner feelings of the heart, see? Your inner perception. Now, our inner perceptions, they go on changing depending upon our moods. Right? Suppose you saw a good movie or you had a good phone call from your friends. You're in a great cheerful mood. When you are discussing any topic in the house, when you're in a good mood, everything looks great. When you're in a bad mood, what do you do then? See, you will perhaps hurt your mother, your father, your friends. So in a bad mood, you perceive things differently. This is a very common experience to all of us. When you have a headache, it is best not to interact with people when you have a headache because you might end up insulting at the same time you might increase the level of your headache. Because the perception will be different based on your inner feelings. Okay? And this inner feeling also, even otherwise, when you are normal, still it remains biased because of our sanskaras, because of your belief system. One day I was watching a video, it's a scientific video, where they were doing experiment with about half a dozen people from different faith, different religious beliefs. They were measuring the pain signals and how various parts of the brain lit up. This is measured through fMRI. Right? Now, let us say if you are a Hindu, I'm just straight away giving you the conclusion. If you're a Hindu and you are seeing the pain of somebody who is not a Hindu, right? Your observation and then later on your mind, how it reacts and how it triggers the feelings in you will lit up a certain part of the brain. If somebody else other than your types are suffering, your empathetic response will be less. But if you put a Christian make him observe another Christian being beheaded by somebody else. The pain level will go up. The response will be even drastic, to the extent that you might even feel disoriented as if it's happening on me. So when you are identifying yourself with the person who is undergoing that pain, you also become part of that, you see. You also feel part of that pain. Because of this identification, I identify myself with so and so. So how do we identify ourselves with parents? This identification with parents is full of love. With friends, affection perhaps, which can mature into love one day. Because of this resonance through love, identification through love, whatever the other person is feeling also reflects in you. So as we change, my level of identification will also change. My feelings will also change. My perception will change as a result. So though I observe the same thing, but my identification, as my relationship changes, my perception will also change. So depending upon our inner state, inner condition, which is always changing because of change of, we change the filters. When we remove the samskars, there you will have lesser and lesser density of or opacity on the inner filter. The day when we are left with no opacity on our inner filter, you will be able to see things as they are. Until then, we'll always remain biased. What they call in clinical science, medicine, cognitive biases.
Okay, Daaji. So that leads us to our next question, which is very similar in approach. How do we handle or deal with continuous criticism?
Criticism from whom?
All from the youth, all the ASEAN youth. Oh, criticisms from whom? That they did not specify in the question, but I think generally from friends, family, at work, school. Yeah.
Well, it depends. You see, who is criticizing you. When my mother criticizes me, I smile and I ignore. Because you have a liberty to ignore your mother. Huh? But as we grow, and when mother says, "Oh, you didn't do this," or she criticizes you, we take it seriously. Right? When in the office, your superiors criticize you for whatever reason, you immediately try to correct your actions. How else otherwise your superiors will end up.
Just give us a moment, guys, and we will get connected once again.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yep, I think
Oh, okay.
So criticisms can be tough. At the same time, if you take it in a right spirit, it can build better relationship also. Years of criticism between husband and wives, either they become immune to each other or they learn from each other. It depends on you how we respond to criticisms. Often I have seen people become immune when they are in intimate relationship. They put up with criticisms and they don't respond much. वो तो बोलता, in Hindi they say तो बोलता रहेगा. He has a habit of saying something like this, or he'll just keep on doing this. I don't care. You become thick skinned when you are criticized so often. So what do you learn from all this? Just as I don't like to be criticized, would the other person like my criticism? So I had to learn from that I should stop this habit of criticizing others when I myself don't like to be criticized. So there is no solution in there is no solution or a remedy when others criticize you. But at least I have control over myself. I can try to become less of a critic of others' actions and thoughts and their work. So this is the learning we can have and take others' criticism in a positive spirit, as if through this criticism I am able to correct myself. So try to take it in a positive stride instead of thinking that oh, he's a critic and always trying to insult me, etc., etc., etc. It will not serve any purpose. But if you respectfully honor that criticism and reorient yourself, you might end up creating a better relation. That despite of my criticism, you are not insulting the other person. In fact, you are listening to that criticism with heart and you are ever ready to go to a next level of improvement. So it's up to us how to take the criticism.
that's amazing, Daddy. Sometimes when to prevent criticisms, what we usually do is, we wear a lot of masks around in our daily lives. So while we are playing so many roles, we have so many hats on, so many masks on, how do we develop our character so that we don't have to wear so many masks in our daily life and just to be ourselves?
Well, wear one mask only. Remain absorbed, in your meditative state. Then you are walking around with a cushion around you. See, meditative state of mind protects us from so many things. It helps us improve our thoughts. It helps us improve our feelings. If you can master this one filter, your inner perceptive filter, you can do a lot of things. I was watching, this American election on TV, live session going on, and how people insults sometimes each other in the discussion, in the newsroom. But they are, keep on shouting at each other. But the lady main anchor remains unaffected. She keeps on smiling. Then she's trained because she's trained to receive all kinds of opinions. Imagine she becomes all of a sudden emotional about the insults casted by somebody else or a criticism from somebody else. Take it and respond back in a positive way without disturbing yourself. That itself is a mastery. So we have to continuously keep on um, venturing into the inner world through meditation, I think, through proper training of our own habits and minds and thoughts and feelings, etc., we can master our responses and make our world a better place. Because I tell you for surety, there will always be argument with your dearest ones. There are no questions about it. How to sail through these insults, accusations, sometimes justifiable or not so justifiable. You have to be prepared for this world. Keep smiling if you can. Moment you retaliate, it goes only to a next level, and that next level is only going to be worse. Best is to keep quiet. When someone criticizes, if you can work around it, reflect on it, and say if that criticism was worth it, you should thank the other person. Thank you for correcting me through your remarks, right? And if you feel that that person was being sarcastic, it's up to you now to respond and tell them something in your words, or tell him off. Which will help you? What will help you at that time? Is it worth spending your energies into it? Is it worth the cause? That should become your compass to guide you, see. Mind is a calculator. It calculates right, wrong, this, that. Heart will give you the direction. Heart is your compass. Mind is your calculator, see.
Very well said, Daaji.
I think we all needed that. With that, we'll move on to the next question. This is, I think, all of us want to know when you are young and when you are a youth. I mean, you're still young, but at heart. But when you are our age, how did you manage to merge your meditation and your spiritual life into your sort of fast-paced daily routine?
For me, I didn't have time to think it's anything different. To me, it was all same. Studying, playing, friendship, meditation, going to movies together with friends. I did not say this was anything different from my inner world. To me, it was all one big harmony. When we went for movies together, it just, I would just think that I'm sitting there, my master is watching it from inside, and it will make the movie even more interesting. And I bring Babuji Maharaj in the center of my heart and allow him to see through me. It takes me to a different dimension, different level. When you're playing some games, ping pong ball or a cricket, same thing. So it is in some way when we bring in master in all our activities, then this mundane thing, so-called games or studies or entertainment, that also becomes spiritual. At that time, I did not think that it became spiritual, but when I reflect back and say, oh, yes, it is one way of spiritualizing yourself. Idea is not to differentiate. It is okay for a discussion that there is a material life, there is a spiritual life. But when I entertain my material world, when I'm working, when I'm doing business, or when you're romancing with your friends, let there be spirituality breathing through you. Let there be meditativeness. You'll enjoy it more actually. When you're holding your friend's hands and walking on the seaside, think of Master and walk hand in hand and see what happens to you. So, bringing in Master in all that we do changes our actions, changes our life altogether. It's transformative. It is totally transformative. See. Bringing master does not mean physical master. It only means you are connected with something bigger than yourself. You're connected with the innermost core of your being. And when we talk of master, it is only so that it's easier for us to hook onto that. Because we cannot connect ourselves with abstract. So we take a help of such individuals who are like our punching bags. Master is a kind of a punching bag. Whenever we need and want to remove frustration, keep hitting him, see. Okay. I think it's enough for the day, I think, for you to digest, unless you have really, really, really nagging question.
I mean, we can go on and on forever. So it's really,
Yes.
it's up to you.
I think we should call it an end, because I tell you one thing. Whenever you have a question in your mind, before you go to bed, invoke the spiritual presence of the Master through prayer, offer the question, and go to sleep. See what happens to your question. Okay? So we'll meditate for 20 minutes. Okay. It's very simple. Have this approach that, my Lord or my God, I would like to have experience your presence in my heart. That's all. And repeat this prayer once. O Master, thou art the real goal of human life. That's all. Think of the presence of divinity in your heart in the form of light. You know how to meditate. So, but I have one suggestion for you all, that you have to make this practice a kind of perpetual or ever incremental habit that can lead you to another better habit. What I mean by that, how one habit can lead me to another better habit. For example, I like to read. It's a good habit. In order to make it a better habit, I would start reading at a specific time. I will devote myself to, okay, I will read at 5:30 in the morning. Okay. So 5:30 to 6, I'm reading. And then to add another better habit to it, I would take a break, walk around, digest what I have read, reflect on what I have read so far, and write it in my journal, the final conclusion of what I understand by what I read so far. You understand? Okay. Now, when it comes to meditation, I can create a habit that I would wake up in the morning at 5:30 in the morning, do other stuff, take a shower, etc. Immediately after that, I will meditate with my mother, or I will meditate with my father, or I will ping my brother or a sister, or I'll ping my friend who is overseas, and we'll meditate together. So create this habit of meditating with, at a specified time. You are meditating at a specific place. And when you have promised yourself that I'll be doing this at such and such a time, so you're fulfilling at, where, when, everything in one go. Your mind is prepared and you are somehow able to execute your intention. When you have promised that, Mommy, I will wake up at 5:30 and we meditate together, she'll be waiting for you in the living room. You also join her, right? or you have pinged your friend a night before and say, let's meet at 5:30. We'll have a virtual meditation together. So it creates a habit. You are adding on habit of bringing other people to it at a specific time and for you at a specific place. And then stacking over this habit itself, you may say, okay, let me write my, or let me reflect on the inner condition first. You walk around for 5 minutes, come back and write down your experience, your final conclusion to that meditation, and then a resolve that yes, all throughout the day, I'll be able to maintain this inner condition, meditative state. I hope I'm not sounding too complex with this idea. We are not doing anything new at all. Is there anything new I made made difficult for you?
No, no, not at all.
No. In fact, it will help so many people. It's not only make you regular, but it will make other people who are sitting on the fence that if she or if he does also, I will also do it. So you are bringing this increased level of discipline and commitment in others' lives also. So you're not only establishing your own biological clock, but you're establishing biological clock of doing something together at a specific time in other individuals also. And I think it will be revolutionary if you youngsters can take up this idea of meditating together, virtually present for each other. Then I think your habits will change. You will be able to make this practice, as Babuji also puts, he gives a different name to it, establishing biological clock. He also calls it as bringing about automatism in your practice. Right? So I think it's enough of blah, 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 blah. We'll meditate now. Yeah, yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
me, and looking forward to you all once this pandemic is over. Come to Kana and spend few days here.
Oh, we would
We
love
love
to.
to.
Yes, yes. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll meditate for about 20 minutes. I will start, and we'll, I think, disconnect from our side, but you get up after 20 minutes, or one of you can say that's all after 20 minutes. Okay? Okay.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Daaji.
you.
Thank you so much.
So let's meditate. Please begin.
That's all. All right. Thank you so much, Daaji, once again for gracing this occasion. We are so grateful for your time and your valuable insights and for these blissful moments that we have all just experienced. So let's take a few moments to reflect upon this beautiful session and observe how we feel internally. If you have a journal next to you, we encourage you to write down your thoughts and how you felt in those moments.
Before we would come to a close to tonight's event, we would like to remind you to stay connected with us. So please follow Youth 2.0 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please stay updated with us regarding more events, engaging content, and relevant information regarding the youth, personal development, and inner refinement. Thank you so much once again to all of you for tuning in and your participation. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you for joining us and continue to stay connected with Youth 2.0 globally. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheerio.
Thank you so much.